Sports.
Cranking out the playoffs, and we already know it's going to be the Knicks and Bulls in the Eastern Final Sunday. It's like it should be. They're the top 2 seeds in the conference. Remember last year? These guys went after each other. Ewing was popping a jumper. Knicks were looking for the upset. But Michael Jordan pulled that Superman routine again. They won a series, they won a title, but if they won another one, they're going to have to go through New York again. How about the West, Pops?
That'd be the wild, wild West, Sonny. A well-known gunslinger known as Charles fixing to meet up with a fella they call the Admiral. Long drink of water. There's a kid come out of Seattle, Kemp, only 23, but who's counting? He'll hook up with this guy, Keem, got an H in his name but doesn't say it. Yeah, boy, it's an NBA shootout Texas style. First stop, San Antonio. Barkley filled it up Tuesday. Suns are up 3-2. You talk about a deadeye. How about Ellis out of San Antonio? And who's going to stand in the way of that Admiral? He can make it tough on the bald-headed guy. Not that bald-headed guy, but that bald-headed guy. Out Houston way, that kid Kemp and those Supersonics up 3-2 on the Rockets. And a good old-fashioned knock 'em down, drag 'em out in Seattle the other night. That guy's getting decked all over the place. The team's going to have to lay down the law, or this thing's history. It's a playoff, son. You ride hard, or you don't ride at all.
And welcome back to another night of NBA playoff action on TNT. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. The Suns and Sonics, sporting 3-2 leads, can move on to the Western Conference Finals, but it will take wins on the road to do it. And so far, that hasn't happened in the West in this round. The home team has won all 10 games in the semis. And joining us in the studio for tonight's doubleheader is Celtics head coach Chris Ford. Thanks for being here. Give me your insights into the Phoenix-San Antonio thing. Do the Suns put it away tonight?
Well, I think that Charles is smelling blood, and I think that he wants to move on. He had a fantastic fourth quarter the other evening, scored from all over the floor, including the three-point line, and I think that it's going to be tough to stop Charles.
What do the Spurs have to do? They haven't lost at home in the playoffs.
Well, I think that it's important that they come up and push the ball up the floor, run the ball as often as possible, and it really depends on how the big guy David Robinson's playing in there. He's got to come up super big for him.
How about the Sonics? They're in the same situation as the Suns, but they lost badly at Houston twice last weekend.
Well, Olajuwon has got to step up as well. I think that it's important that they go to him often and early. I think that Kenny Smith has got to do a fantastic job of pushing the ball, getting him into their offense, and make sure that Olajuwon doesn't disappear out there. Otis Thorpe is another guy who's got to play big, both at the offensive end and also keep the rebounding up.
If I were Rudy T, I'd give it to Hakeem myself. At halftime, we'll look ahead to the Knicks-Bulls Eastern Conference Final. We'll get a report from Craig Sager. But straight ahead, our Western Conference doubleheader tips off in San Antonio. Can the Spurs force a seventh game, or do the Suns move on? We'll turn it over to Bob and Hubie next.
Field from San Antonio, Texas, the Hemisfair Arena. Another sellout crowd. Western Conference Semifinals Game 6. Phoenix leading in the series 3-2. The Rockets and Sonics will also play later tonight. In the locker room prior to this significant game, number 6, Sean Elliott, who's been having a tremendous series for the San Antonio Spurs, particularly here at home, will have to face Charles Barkley, who pulled the game out at home for Phoenix in game number 5. You could say that this is a single elimination tournament for San Antonio tonight because they must win in this game. They've been almost two different teams at Phoenix and here. Let's talk about why San Antonio has been so good in this building.
Well, first of all, you got the home crowd enthusiasm, Bob, but they've been able to elevate the tempo of the game. By that, we mean getting out in the open floors, and the statistics that we're going to show you will back it up. You look at the difference in the point scoring, you're talking 18 points at home, and then getting to the foul line. Now you say, what's the big deal? That puts defensive pressure on rotations. Paul Westphal must go to his bench. Then their ability to take control of the basketball. They're not getting the shot blocks against them, and also they're not turning the ball over, so consequently Phoenix cannot get out in the open floor, and they're not worrying about their transition defense.
Now, there's some bad news for San Antonio, and that is that they are an injured basketball team. Several people with injuries tonight.
Well, we know that Antoine Carr is out for quite a while. Now, Willie Anderson with the fractured eye socket will wear goggles tonight, but he will play. David Robinson had the day off yesterday. The back spasms are supposedly under control. J.R. Reed with a minor strain. They need J.R. Reed to establish a low-post game whenever David Robinson is playing high.
Now, as this is a single elimination game for San Antonio if they lose, it's a chance for Phoenix to prove to all the naysayers that they've got the killer instinct to win here in San Antonio tonight.
Well, everyone out in the West is looking for someone to win a game on the road in the second round. And in order to do that, you must take care of the defensive boards. You cannot allow second shots. And then when you get out in the open floor, that you can score, and then your three-point shooters will come into range. And by that I mean Danny Ainge and Marley and Barkley are all struggling with the three-point shot. So can they do that, up-tempo, play their game, and also go with the strong defense?
How about the key of San Antonio defense and Kevin Johnson?
Well, I think that it has to be the double-teaming before he gets to half court, or as soon as he crosses, get the ball out of his hands. He's having a magnificent series.
Game 6, Western Conference Semifinals, the Suns and the Spurs, coming up in just a moment. The Hemisfair Arena as David Robinson and the Spurs were introduced to the music and the cheers of the crowd. And now let's have a look at the Jeep Eagles starting matchups.
Now, the Phoenix Suns will start again with Dan Marley on Sean Elliott. They like the way things went in Game 5. Now down below, that causes a problem. Dumas not accustomed to guarding a guy like Ellis.
And J.R. Reed starting in place of Antoine Carr, who has the sprained ankle. J.R. Reed, as John Lucas said, will have to set the tone for the way to try to stop Charles Barkley. Lucas and his San Antonio Spurs did a good job on Barkley early, but he exploded with 19 points in the fourth quarter in game number 5. From the Hemisfair Arena, another sellout crowd here, 16,057. Jake O'Donnell, Jack Madden, Steve Javie are the officials.
Let's get busy.
And the Phoenix Suns take over the ball.
Big situation early. How will San Antonio defend these pick and rolls?
Marley penetrating, West with a rebound and the putback.
In the early going in Phoenix, the only way that Phoenix was able to stay around was because of the offensive board rebounding and Marley playing well from the foul line down.
David Robinson on the baseline. Run down by Avery Johnson. He had 15 assists in game number 5. This is Dale Ellis, who's been shooting it very well. Not tonight, Barkley with his first rebound.
Both coaches very concerned about their transition defense because we really have quick people and also excellent perimeter shooters on the break.
Marley hits a 3. He's been struggling from there. This is going to be a key for Phoenix.
Well, the big thing is any time that you know guys have done it over 82 games, Bob, they can always come out of the slump. So you must honor that and get up on top of them.
Down to David Robinson. Draws the double team.
There's your designated guy, Kevin Johnson.
J.R. Reed open in the middle. He started with a pulled groin muscle in game number 1. Here he's feeling okay, and it is a 5-2 game, the first basket of the night for the San Antonio Spurs.
Once again, here comes that screen and roll.
Avery Johnson denies KJ, kicks it to Barkley for the 3. Barkley continues to miss from three-point land. A.J. Johnson has the Spurs on the run. This is what they like to do, and they do it so well at home.
See, Kevin Johnson continues to look at him, and he is saying, I'm taking it all the way. You can see it in his eyes as he crosses half court.
Barkley against J.R. Reed. Barkley pushing him in, just like he's a stick figure. But then J.R. Reed with the block of Charles Barkley, 10 on the shot clock.
Like John Lucas said, Bob, they want J.R. to establish a physical contact with him early so that when Mean Smith comes in this game, that it's already there and the referees are conditioned. But let's face it, we have two of the best here in Jack Madden and in Jake O'Donnell, guys who've been around a long time.
Charles Barkley misses from the perimeter again. Sean Elliott with a rebound, stripped from him and out of bounds by Dan Marley. Opening moments, 2 minutes gone in the first quarter. It's 5-4. Phoenix, Charles Barkley 0 for 3 to start this ball game. David Robinson from 16 feet, and the Admiral has his first basket of the night. He too started game number 5 with back spasms, played the whole ball game because his back hurt him so bad he did not want it to get stiff by sitting on the bench. Barkley now 1 of 4 with his first hoop of the night.
At both ends of the floor, I think that the teams are getting exactly what they want. But San Antonio is keeping Kevin Johnson out of the middle. Let's see if they can continue to do that over the 48 minutes.
Sean Elliott slashing into the paint. Rebound, Mark West.
Very tough shot, but he makes that shot. In this series, he almost goes off the wrong foot, and he's able to hang time enough in order to get it off.
A fadeaway from 20 feet for Charles Barkley, who now has 4.
You like that. Reward Reed. Let him go at him.
Marley with the rebound. 9-6, Phoenix.
You must make Charles Barkley work defensively.
Kevin Johnson looking for the penetration.
Nice pass.
Traveling on Mark West.
Traveling, little bunny hop as he did a 360 down in there.
We've been talking about game number 5. The Spurs led until 5. Well, actually, the first time it was a 1-point game was 5.5 minutes to go in the game, but the Suns finally pulled it out, 109-97.
The big fourth quarter with Barkley with 19 points and 6 rebounds, outscored and out-rebounded the San Antonio Spurs.
Sean Elliott finds Avery Johnson. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Dale Ellis from the corner. He's deadly. From there, the all-time three-point field goal shooter in the history of the NBA, Dale Ellis.
In the last 3 games, he's shooting 59%. The touch is there.
Marley muscles his way into the line. 11-9. Phoenix taking this crowd out early with the lead. Good pass to Robinson for the jam.
And that's the way to send it down.
And the foul on Mark West.
The people are up because he sent this down with authority. And that's what you try to tell guys. Send it home strong so that if the guy does go for the block, you have a chance for the 3-point play. Now Robinson has got to step to the line and convert. In this series, he's averaging 11 foul shot attempts a game. Unfortunately, though, he's only shooting 69%.
David Robinson converts the 3-point play, and for the first time in this game, gives San Antonio their lead. 12-11. This will get this raucous crowd more into the game. Richard Dumas being defended by Dale Ellis. Very athletic player. Doesn't get it off the glass, but there is Barkley for the offensive rebound and the putback, and Charles has 6 points early. He has 3 field goals. It took him the entire first quarter to get 3 field goals in Phoenix 2 nights ago. Dale Ellis rims it out. Barkley.
Now this is where you must stop Barkley high.
He sets for the triple and buries it. You cannot give him the set shot.
No, you know why, Bob? Because he's in a flow right now from the perimeter. You must get to him early, stop the dribble, and close him down. You can see it. He feels the outside shot.
Charles missed his first 3, hit his last 4. Strips it from J.R. Reed. Bad pass. Avery Johnson can't hold on to it. Kevin Johnson can. The kick to Marley for 3. Barkley puts it back. Robinson has it stripped. Dumas hits the floor hard. I think he's all right. Back comes San Antonio, trailing 16-12. Good no-look from Avery Johnson to Sean Elliott.
If I'm John Lucas, though, I'm concerned, Bob. Too many second shots, and we haven't even played 6 minutes.
Barkley has 9 points already. Kevin Johnson with the offside rebound, and he draws the foul. It's a 2-point Phoenix Sun lead. San Antonio led only on 1 possession. 6 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter from Hemisfair Arena.
We want to show you transition defense. Now, right now, Charles Barkley is going to stop right here with the dribble. His man is here, J.R. Reed. Now, keep an eye on David Robinson because this comes into effect here. Now watch what happens. Right here, you're going to see J.R. Reed. He's yelling to Robinson to come out and pick up Barkley. Barkley knows that Robinson is too deep, so he pulls up and he takes the three. Now watch J.R. Reed pick up West. You see he matched up. Robinson said, I'm not coming out. And what happens? You give up the three. Now here's the game plan in the Spurs locker room. The defense, all right, the rebounding, one and out, attack on the pick and roll, and aggressive versus Barkley on the post-ups. Now, to us, he said the biggest problem for us this evening, transition defense. We must get to them, no threes, and play them tough off the dribble.
6:22 to go in the first quarter. It's a 2-point lead for the Phoenix Suns. San Antonio led by 1 only once tonight. There have been 15 field goal attempts in this ball game by the Phoenix Suns. 9 have been taken by Charles Barkley as Kevin Johnson goes to the free throw line. He was fouled by Avery Johnson. Kevin is an 84% free throw shooter in this series.
Well, every year Kevin is always in the mid-80s. He's an excellent foul shooter.
1 out of 2 on this one, and it is a 3-point lead with the Phoenix Suns out in front here the first 6 minutes of game number 6. San Antonio loses tonight. They go on vacation.
At that time, Avery Johnson had the shot, and he gave it up. That allowed Phoenix to come back.
Avery Johnson penetrated successfully in game number 5. He has 4 points here tonight. 1 on the break, that one on the penetration.
Well, as long as Johnson is not on him, KJ, he can beat the other guys off the dribble.
KJ pulls up to try to answer, tipped out by J.R. Reed. Look who's after the ball, Charles Barkley. Beautiful pass inside, Dumas wasn't ready. Stolen by Robinson, 3-on-3.
Look for the trailers now.
Sean Elliott, so good at taking it down the lane, is blocked by Dan Marley.
Dan Marley is up for the contest tonight. He's taking on the challenge of Sean Elliott. Now in this series, Sean Elliott is scoring points, but he's only shooting 40%. Dan Marley was rewarded for making the second-team all-defensive team this past week. That's the second time. He made it in 91 and again this year.
It's going to be San Antonio ball.
See, Marley plays the most minutes for the Phoenix Suns. People think Barkley does, but in this series, Dan Marley is averaging 44 minutes a game.
David Robinson isolated against West. Nice pass to Avery Johnson. He's got 6. Give the assist to Robinson.
See, they're taking advantage that Avery Johnson is open every time Kevin Johnson double teams, and he's not staying in the same spot. He's constantly moving.
Kevin Johnson, speaking of constantly moving, it's the Johnson matchup here that's been interesting early in this ballgame. Dale Ellis from the corner. He was off balance.
Oh, my. Bad air ball. 3-on-1.
Barkley never even got down 4. Look out for the jam from Barkley. Barkley has 11 points in this ball game with 4:52 to go in the first quarter. Suns by 3.
He was definitely not soaring like an eagle. He looked like a runaway truck.
J.R. Reed gets it low on the block. Let's see if he can do something against Barkley. Tough shot. Barkley right in his face. J.R. Reed goes strong for the offensive board. Off San Antonio. Hold it. They're going to say Jake O'Donnell overrules Madden. They're going to give it to the Spurs.
Now, Bob, J.R. Reed is getting a lot of opportunities here. Charles Barkley has gotten a piece of 2 of his shots. He's got to make the quicker move because Charles is laying back and waiting for him to release the ball.
Now Jack Madden disagrees with Jake O'Donnell. Steve Javy has entered the discussion, and we've got a disagreement between the 3 officials here tonight as to whose ball it's going to be. I have a feeling we may get a jump ball.
Yeah, that's what we have right now. But you see, Jake thought that he had the call all the way that time.
Yeah, he didn't like this.
You know, both coaches are upset here right now because each guy would like to believe that it is his possession.
Robinson and Dumas are going to jump the ball as they were the disputed players off whom the officials each saw it go. If you understand that.
Stole the tap.
Now it belongs to Phoenix. Jack Madden said, I called Phoenix ball originally anyway.
You know Jack Madden would never do that. All right? And we know that David Robinson stole that tap.
Yes, we do. 4:26 to go in the first quarter. 3-point lead for the Phoenix Suns. Dumas alone. Robinson gets down there to intimidate him, and Dumas takes a walk.
The right word, intimidation. The Admiral was there. He was definitely going to try for the reject. Dumas, though, nice move, nice head fake. Unfortunately, though, he moved the pivot foot.
3-point Suns lead. Sean Elliott pulls up right on the line. That's a 2.
Yeah, I like that. If your man is going to fall off you to try to help out on a soft double team on Robinson, you must make him pay the price. Shoot the ball.
Kevin Johnson with the drive.
We're going to give you that last play. Now just watch. See, as Marley is playing soft, then you cannot allow it when you are an excellent perimeter shooter. You got to make him pay the price. If you don't want to do that, dribble the ball to the foul line. He'll close the distance, then drop the pass in.
That's 2 early fouls on Avery Johnson. Dale Ellis goes to the bench, and coming into the ball game is Willie Anderson, and Anderson is wearing the goggles because he has a broken eye socket. He said this morning at the practice, there's a foul holding Charles Barkley on J.R. Reed. Willie Anderson said this morning that those goggles were definitely a problem for him. He did not like them. They definitely bothered his peripheral vision and his outside shooting.
So tonight he'll get 18 off the bench.
Exactly.
Okay.
Barkley throws it away as Ceballos, who just checked into the game for Phoenix, loses it. That's 5 Suns turnovers.
Charles waited too long, Bob. They had 2 guys open that time. He just waited, and then he threw it with one hand.
Sean Elliott, who is so tough on the drive, missed the 3rd time on inside penetrations. Elliott has failed to get it to go down.
You better get to Charles.
That's 2 threes for Charles. He has 14 points with 3:20 to go in the first quarter, and it is a 4-point Suns lead.
If they don't get to him, we're going to send Marty Aronoff, our stat man, out to pick him up when he comes over half court.
Here is Sean Elliott penetrating again. This time they deny him. Willie Anderson missing. The offensive boards, it's David Robinson, and J.R. Reed sticks it.
J.R. Reed needs a field goal. You know, his confidence is a little shaky right now. He cannot establish a low post game. Plus, Barkley is wearing him out at the other end.
14 first quarter points for Charles Barkley. That includes 2 3-pointers off the transition game. Now backing Reed in again. Robinson comes for the double team. Ceballos, the open man from 16.
When you're there defensively, you must jump and challenge the shot. We didn't say block the shot, but challenge the shot. If you do not elevate, you might as well not even be there. Guy gets a good look at the rim.
Sean Elliott pulls up from the corner over Marley, and Sean Elliott has 6 points. This is a 2-point Phoenix lead with 2:15 to go in the quarter.
Very reminiscent of Game 5.
Robinson out on Marley now. Marley off the glass. They wanted to travel, didn't get it.
No. You can take the 2 steps as long as you pass or shoot. Everyone is all upset. That was a beautiful move by Marley.
Sean Elliott looking for J.R. Reed on the post-up. It's out of bounds. It belongs to Phoenix.
We're going to show. Keep an eye on Charles. See, watch his eyes. See, he's just looking at this guy, sizing him up and saying, JR, if you're going to stay back there, I must make you pay.
Suns by 4 with 1:47 to go in quarter number 1.
Show you how Avery Johnson can become an offensive force because Kevin Johnson is going to be double teaming post play. Now keep an eye on the 2 fellas at the top. Now once the ball goes into David Robinson, you'll see Avery move. Now, as soon as Kevin comes on the double, see Avery is taught to go to the front of the rim. And you try to get that across the guys when they have to freelance. There it is there, because if the player being double teamed is unselfish and can deliver the pass, you're going to be a scorer.
Look at Charles Barkley, 19 points and 6 in Game 5 in the 4th quarter, 14 and 6 here. That's 33 and 12, an all-star game for anybody, and that happened in the last 2 quarters Charles Barkley has played. This one isn't even over yet. Suns leading by 4 with 1:35 remaining and 10 on the shot clock.
Now Larry Smith is in there on Barkley.
Avery Johnson gets the long rebound. The Spurs run. Johnson.
All right, nice.
To Willie Anderson. Beautiful play by Avery Johnson. who has 5 assists already to go with his 6 points.
Bob, that was a great save of the ball because that ball almost got away from Avery.
Zavallo shooting from long range over Sean Elliott. Phoenix on fire. They shot 74% in the first half in Game 5. And they are on fire again here tonight.
And we're seeing some great outside shooting.
4-point Phoenix lead, under a minute to go, quarter number 1. Willie Anderson, broken right eye socket, playing with goggles, down to David Robinson. The double team, he'll shoot it anyway. Barkley, 7 rebounds.
He's a monster tonight at both ends on the boards.
Frank Johnson in. He did a tremendous job handling the ball and playing defense for Phoenix late in that ballgame in Game 5.
Plus a big 6 points in the 11 minutes.
Frank Johnson, the open man after the double team. He buries the perimeter. Everybody from Phoenix loving this hoop here at the Hemisphere.
Frankie Johnson is 3 for 3 now, 2 for 2 on the line, and he's played 12 minutes. Counting Game 5 to now. Nice fake.
Avery Johnson with a ball fake, couldn't get it to go. Paul Westphal said of Frankie Johnson, who hits the floor hard, he earned his entire year's paycheck in game number 5 by his great defense and inspiration. That is 3 personal fouls on Avery Johnson.
Now, see, that was costly. He missed the shot at the other end, got a little careless, picked up a costly 3rd foul, Bob. And the only good thing about this is it was their first foul inside of 2 minutes. They're not into the penalty.
6 points, 5 assists for Avery Johnson as he sits down. It's Johnson night.
I like this. Everybody on the baseline. Ainge out in a 3-point range. Barkley taking Larry Smith off the dribble.
And almost stolen by Willie Anderson. Danny Ainge shooting off the wrong foot at the buzzer at the end of the first quarter. Suns 32, Spurs 26, but Charles 14 points, 7 rebounds, shooting 50% from the floor. He had a great 4th quarter in Game 5, and he's off to the same start here. Hemisfair Arena in beautiful downtown San Antonio. Some NBA news just broke moments ago as you look at Charles Barkley. Larry Brown has resigned as head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers. He took that job February 5th last year, had a record of 64-53, coached only 117 games, and Hubie, Larry Brown is moving on once again.
Well, anytime that you leave a contract where you're making $1.2 million and you do have security, you know that Larry has someplace definitely in mind, and he's already been contacted, so you know Larry will land on his feet. He's an excellent coach, and this puts another monkey on the back of the Clippers because they still have to sign 4 of their top players, so now you also have a coach problem.
Benny Del Negro, who did not play in Game 5, is in for the Spurs at the point guard, along with Larry Smith, Willie Anderson, Dale Ellis, and David Robinson. 7 seconds to shoot. Anderson left alone. Buries it, goggles and all. But once again, as he did in Game 5, he stepped on the 3-point line.
Yeah, but the old story. It's nice to see him knock it down when he was hesitant about the goggles.
Tom Chambers scores, and in this series, that's big news.
Well, Tom Chambers is only shooting 21%, Bob, and he's really strong. We're talking one of the premier forwards of all time in this league in regards to scoring points.
Willie Anderson, hard to the hoop for the basket. He loves these goggles. They were calling him Hakeem at practice today. He said, actually, to be truthful, he did not love them, but he's playing above them.
Yeah, but what I like is also, Bob, that he's doing it, and he's looking for the score, because he came in and made a big 7 points in Game 5 before he got injured.
Marley stepped around the defense from Ellis, stepped up, took the 20-footer. That's a 2. It's a 4-point Phoenix lead. Make it a 5-point lead, 36-31. Dale Ellis, that shot was bothered. Oliver Miller, who played only 14 minutes 2 nights ago in the game. Here's Frankie Johnson, dishes to Chambers. Missed the lay-in. Punched away by Willie Anderson. Benny Del Negro on the run.
Wide open.
Anderson. That's a 3. He stepped behind the line this time. And San Antonio is 3 out of 4 from 3-point range. Phoenix is 3 out of 5. This is a 2-point game.
I'm going to show you this right now. Now, this is a nice kick out to Willie Anderson. No defensive pressure at all. And right now, the Phoenix bench has got to start getting in groove here from the defensive standpoint. In this series,
and they're going to have a problem. Here comes Terry Cummings.
Yeah, but Larry
Smith is limping off.
Smith is limping off with an ankle sprain. Terry Cummings is coming in now. The point we want to make, the Phoenix bench is outscoring one of the best benches in basketball, 25-20. San Antonio's winning that battle, and also the rebounding battle in that beginning of the second quarter and beginning of the fourth quarter.
Robinson comes away with a steal as they help Larry Smith into the locker room. On the run, Terry Cummings. He did not enter Game 5 until very late in the game, and the Spurs bench has tied this game. We'll get a report on Larry Smith. Early indication from just looking at it, Hubie, that is possibly a muscle cramp. We'll double check on Larry Smith.
Yeah, they're working on it right now. They're straightening out his leg.
Frank Johnson misses from the perimeter.
Look up.
Dale Ellis. Anderson was
Look
open.
up. Willie Anderson's wide open.
Del Negro says, so is the middle. Blocked by Oliver Miller. He leads this team in blocked shots. Marley dishes to Tom Chambers to Marley.
Nice ball.
3-second violation on Oliver Miller.
The pace is fast and furious right now. Anyone who runs to the corner is wide open at either end of the floor.
Larry Smith went off the court. We speculated it might be a muscle cramp.
And you're going to see it right now. You can see right there he has a major knot in that calf on the right side of the leg. Now that causes a problem. You have J.R. Reed struggling. You want to get 7 minutes to 14 minutes out of Larry Smith, but now you're forced to use Terry Cummings. And there's your main man right there, Antoine Carr, with the severely sprained ankle, who is out, and he, next to David Robinson, is your key post-up man. He's not going to be back for a while, Bob, because he has major swelling even to this day.
And you wonder, you say, what's the problem with Terry Cummings, former All-Star? Well, he missed most of the season, meaning he missed most of the Lucas system, and he's defensively suspect because of that leg injury.
But one thing he is doing, he is scoring.
He can do it. Turnaround jumper from Terry Cummings. He is murder right there. That's his signature shot.
Playoff time, he averages 24 points a game throughout his career, 8 years in the playoff before the season, and he always shoots over 50%.
Spurs have taken a lead. They are on a 12-4 spurt. They lead at 38-36 with 8:34 to go in the half. Del Negro playing Ames. His turnaround jumper doesn't fall. Rebound, Terry Cummings. It's out of bounds, however, and will belong to Phoenix.
He's very upset because he had a clear rebound, and also they were out on the break. But like we tried to bring out to you, you know, during the year, the Phoenix bench buried teams, absolutely buried teams. And here they've met their match in this series.
Tom Chambers got the board, but Vinny Del Negro fouled him from behind. We might point out this run has happened minus Charles Barkley, who is on the bench resting for the Phoenix Suns. Barkley sat down with 14 points and 7 rebounds.
The reason why we want to bring out the issue about Tommy Chambers, he's only playing 11 minutes a game in this 5-game series.
Dan Marley struggled loose, throws up a prayer. It's answered by Vinny Del Negro to Terry Cummings. Terry having ball handling trouble.
Nice deflection that time by Oliver Miller.
Chambers with a reverse jam. In his earlier days, he was unbelievable going to the hoop.
Loves to drive to his left and finish with the left-handed dunk.
Tied at 38, and we just hear from the public relations people with the Spurs that Larry Smith sprained his knee. We'll get a further report on that.
Here comes Chambers on the break. He loves to come from the right side of the floor as he attacks, and then usually he'll try to dunk with his left hand. There was a little showtime, trying to express himself. You talk Tommy Chambers, you're talking 2 years All-NBA in 89 and 90, and a guy who's played in 4 All-Star games. This has been very tough for him to swallow, only playing 11 minutes a game in this series.
David Robinson, 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. 7:42 to go in the half. Kevin Johnson, Chambers, Oliver Miller, Danny Ainge, and Marley on the floor for the Suns, trailing by 2. Here comes Del Negro.
This group has done a terrific job in holding Phoenix to one shot and then getting up and running something to get a nice shot.
David Robinson with the major slam. He faked the shot and took it to the hole. 4-point Spurs lead. That's their biggest of the game. Phoenix has led by as many as 6. Good pass from Chambers to Miller.
Got to send those down with 2 hands, Oliver. You can't send down that soft stuff in this game because every possession must get a score when you're 2 feet away from the basket. Now keep a head, look at the head fake. Catches Oliver making a move. Yeah, right there. Robinson, no competition for Marley or Ainge on the rotation. Right now, the Phoenix end of the floor, they've gone back to what they ran when Cotton Fitzsimmons was the coach here for 4 years, and they had all the success. The high screen and roll with Chambers and KJ on the right side of the floor. When you switch, Chambers takes you to the box. When they're double, the center is open right in front of the basket. Tommy threw that one by like memory. Boom, right on the money.
42-40 Spurs as Miller gets both his free throws. Oliver shooting only 67% from the line. Willie Anderson down to Robinson. He's the open man. They reverse it beautifully to Dale Ellis from the corner. 4-3. Dale Ellis has 6 points, and that's the 4th triple in this game for the Spurs.
Make that extra pass. 2 passes or 3 out of the double team.
Nice pass into Oliver Miller, who just spun inside. Cummings and Anderson mixed up on the coverage that time. It's a 3-point Spurs lead. Del Negro's going to take it all the way to the hoop, right past Kevin Johnson. Got a step on him and then used his superior size to get it inside on Kevin.
That was a beautiful move. Vinny Del Negro can score. He has a scorer's mentality.
Charles Barkley, that set shot for the 3, not this time because Robinson nearly got to it. Out on the break, they didn't see him. Cummings, they saw. Interior defense very strong with Ainge, Miller, and Kevin Johnson.
That's the 3rd time Terry Cummings has lost the ball once he got down into that lane area.
Ainge just pulls up from 18. Says, I see no pass. I will shoot it. First basket of the night for Danny Ainge.
But Danny is saying, if you're going to play me and you're going to go underneath the screen, then I'm going to step back because I do not see any defensive pressure.
Willie Anderson with 10 to shoot on the drive. The pull-up shot. That's a tough one, but he drew the foul. Danny Ainge got him.
Tough shot, Bob, because the Admiral was rolling wide open to the rim. We'd like to show you a screen and roll, but keep an eye on the Admiral as Willie Anderson dribbles in and then dribbles back here. You're going to see 2 defenders come at him. Now just watch what happens. Now Willie is coming off the screen. He doesn't have anything. All right, now as he comes back, now hold it. The 2 defenders are right on him. Now you know, you can see the big fella. Now when the big fella moves, you must give him the basketball because he's going to get you a high percentage dunk. Now I realize he got fouled, he's going to go to the line. But in a situation like that, any penetration, you always look for the roll man.
By the way, Charles Barkley has re-entered the game as David Robinson gets a rest. Barkley's played only 2 minutes this quarter, and in the quarter, Phoenix shooting only 38%. San Antonio 8 out of 10 at 80%, but Charles, who had 14 points when he went to the bench, is back in there now. Coming up right after this game, we'll be going to Houston, Texas. Ron Poole and Doug Collins will have the Seattle Supersonics and the Houston Rockets in game number 6. It is also the last hurrah for Houston unless they win that game tonight.
Once again, Bob, Willie Anderson in the first half making a big contribution.
12 points. Broken eye socket and all. Kevin Johnson on the drive. Reed got his hand on the ball. The outlet to Reed. Nice pass.
My, what a pass and what a bad pass. Can you believe J.R. Reed threw a look-away pass? John Lucas wanted to grab that one, dribble out there, and then to break himself. Now that was a terrific pass from Anderson to Reed, and all Reed had to do, you'll start eating potatoes. Stop with the mustard, we still only get 2 points.
Kevin Johnson, offensive foul as he runs over Willie Anderson when he kicked it out to Charles Barkley.
Now here's the kick out. Anderson does a terrific job on the board. There is your diagonal. Now watch the look away. See, he looked away. Now you say, well, the guy slowed down in the other lane, but if he didn't look away, you would have seen that he stopped.
Spurs by 5, 4:41 to go in the half. Cummings on the drive.
Yes,
and the reverse past the rookie Oliver Miller. 6 points for Cummings off the bench since Larry Smith went into the locker room with what we understand is a sprained knee.
And you know, Terry's doing a nice job on Oliver Miller.
And Dale Ellis got away with pushing in the back there, which caused that jumper to miss, and now a 7-point lead.
They're posting Ainge, Willie Anderson.
Ainge bumps
Good call. Good call. The emphasis this year has been no two hands in the lower back of a post-up guy and no bumping the guy out with your thigh. Now keep an eye on Terry now. See, he's going to go baseline. Oliver Miller, a shot blocker, so come up on the other side so that if he does go for the shot block, he'll hit the rim. Oh, beautiful move.
But then Willie Anderson couldn't get the reverse to go. Here come the Phoenix Suns. It's 3-on-2, now 3-on-4. Excellent transition defense. Marley gets the hoop anyway and draws the foul. Marley has 11 points and a chance for 12. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Hubie Brown and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. If it's added up on minutes, Marley is certainly going to be a candidate.
Well, what you'll enjoy about Dan Marley is he's constantly running, and that time he made a tough catch in a crowd. Kevin Johnson laid it in there, but in traffic. What a year he's had. All-star team for the second year, all-defensive second team for a second time, and he leads your team in minutes played. You know, he's the guy that is their defensive stopper at second guard or small forward. Very flexible.
51-47 Spurs, 3:46 to go in the half. The San Antonio bench has performed admirably here in the second quarter.
Done it terrific. It's a clear out.
There's Terry Cummings. Not this time. Barkley back in the game. Now has 8 rebounds.
High screen and roll. Nice.
Kevin Johnson all the way to the hoop. Wanted the foul call on J.R. Reed. Didn't get it.
So he got fouled. But you cannot go under and then not step up. I mean, you cannot allow Kevin to turn the corner.
2 points, Spurs lead. Del Negro left alone for the jumper. Excellent shooter, not this time. Barkley punches it loose,
Charles. Good
then
hustle.
gets it again.
Good hustle.
Behind the back.
Oh, yes.
Knocked out of bounds by Willie Anderson, 18 on the shot clock.
Now,
we
right
have a
now,
timeout, Phoenix.
See, they're calling it Phoenix ball on the baseline. Phoenix is bent out of shape. They all thought that was another drive to the basket. Watch the wraparound pass by Charles now. Now, you be the ref. Was this a clean knockout, or does he get fouled? Now, you see he get hit right there and pulled back. So you're saying we should be on the line. We'd like to show you Kevin Johnson and Tommy Chambers executing the screen and roll. Now, if Vinny is going to play him and come underneath, all right, that's fine. Terry Cummings must step up and then force what we call a V move with the basketball. Force the dribbler back towards half court so he cannot turn the corner. Now watch what happens. Cummings does not step up. Kevin turns the corner. Vinny cannot get to the spot. Kevin says, this is candy. This is my move. Chambers and I run this as well as anyone. And how about these kind of numbers? Kevin is one of the greatest ever for the 20 points and the 10 assists. Now, I know he's not there right now, but if he continues his play tonight, he's going to get it.
He's continuing right now to the hoop. Kevin Johnson, not this time. David Robinson back in after the rest with his 3rd rebound. Got a wrestling match going down between Barkley and J.R. Reed. Foul on Chambers. Sean Elliott into Willie Anderson. It's J.R. Reed, Ellis, Anderson, David Robinson, and Sean Elliott on the floor for the San Antonio Spurs.
Tommy hit David Robinson right in the face.
Robinson goes to the hole and misses the lay-in. Phoenix running.
So dangerous.
Anderson and Kevin Johnson are flirting with some fireworks here. Jack Madden grabs a hold of Willie Anderson to keep them apart.
Yeah, and you hope nothing happens here, mainly because both teams need these two guys. Willie Anderson, 6'8". Now watch as he gets down in here. See, now the foul, Kevin takes a little exception to the foul, bumps him out of there. Willie must say, now, I'm bumping you back. Just like you and I are working.
Just like we do. We do this all night.
And you know, no guy's going to take a bump like that without bumping back because it's reflex action.
But like you and I understand, it comes in the flow of the game.
That's right.
Kevin Johnson misses the free throw. How about the great job Anderson and Cummings, the two veterans, did coming off the bench? Two experienced players. Anderson went 4 of 6. Cummings 3 of 4. 7 of 10. That bench really superb work for San Antonio.
Well, we said in games 1 and 2, we tried to get the points across that Willie Anderson averages 20 points a game at playoff time and Terry Cummings 24. They need them.
David Robinson gets the roll, and he'll go to the line. Until that time, Phoenix had scored 6 straight points. That is a significant basket for the Admiral. We're at the Hemisfair Arena in San Antonio, Texas. Game 6, Western Conference Semifinals. Phoenix leading 3-2. The Spurs up here 53-50, and we have a timeout on the floor with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the second quarter. A 20-second timeout. Spurs holding a very narrow edge.
But that was a magnificent move by David Robinson. And when he kicked it up there, that ball was hanging on the rim. He willed that one in. Now we're going to give it to you. And I just hope that we have an angle where you can see David Robinson. Now he wants this shot. Now just watch Watch what happens here now. As he makes his move, Tommy goes for the strip, doesn't get it. Now he lays it up there softly, and he's staring it in on one leg. He's bouncing to the right of your picture there, and he's pushing that baby home.
David Robinson now to the free throw line, has 11 points in this game, only shooting 69% from the line in this series. He had a sore wrist and back spasms in game 5. Converts the three-pointer.
We're going to give you that move again real quickly so you can see Robinson. Now just watch. Once he makes that move, he knows it's up there soft, but he's calling it. He's staring it. Elliott saying, yes, my man. Way to look at home.
Robinson with the steal. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. 4 points, Spurs lead.
Yeah, go right inside. Let's see what Reed can do.
There's the double team. Split it, get it into the paint. Barkley has 11 rebounds. Nice. Kicks it to Ainge for the 3.
Oh,
shoots the air ball.
Lots of air.
This is 3 on 2. Kevin Johnson down. Avery Johnson is open. Ball fake. Offensive foul on Avery Johnson. And more significantly, that is the fourth foul on Avery Johnson.
That was a great defensive play by Danny Ainge. He did not go for the fake. Avery thought he caught him with the ball fake. Now just watch this. We have a bump here, a no call. Now watch as the ball comes back in the middle. Avery gives a ball fake and head. Ainge doesn't go for it. Great defense.
Veteran experience. 54-50 Spurs, 1:24 to go in the half. Kevin Johnson almost caught by Barkley. Del Negro says to Jack Madden, Barkley touched it,
the ball.
No.
You see right now, Kevin is feeling good on those screen and rolls. Bobby's opening up.
The Admiral working inside, comes away with that loose ball as Marley should have handled it. Barkley has 12 boards.
Nice pass.
Willie Anderson with a hard foul on Kevin Johnson. Those two have really had a battle here.
You know, that's okay. But see, this is playoff basketball. Great look pass right here by Barkley. How about that? Right on the money. You cannot allow him to go up there strong. All right, he went for the shot block. He didn't get it. Okay.
Kevin Johnson, 8 points, 5 assists. He scored the last 5 Suns points.
I'll tell you, we're seeing something tonight. That's his 3rd miss on the foul line.
Coming up at halftime, the Reebok halftime report, Ernie Johnson will have Boston head coach Chris Ford in the studio tonight in good cheer, I'm sure. Preview of Game 6, Rockets and Sonics. And also, Craig Sager will look ahead to the Eastern Conference Finals between the Bulls and the Knicks. But for the goaltending non-call, Chris Ford might not have been available for our studio tonight.
Find the double team. There you go. You got to get it out quicker. See, J.R. Reed holds the ball too long when he's outside.
Anderson down to J.R. Reed, and he's fouled before he gets down on the hoop, and it's called on Danny Ainge with 43 seconds remaining in the half, and the Spurs clinging to that 1-point lead.
Now, the Spurs are playing a great game. Phoenix is hanging right here. So if you're Phoenix, you know you can get this one in this building right now.
Reed gives him a 2-point lead. That's 3 on Danny Ainge, by the way.
They're going to continue to double and triple team into David Robinson. When that first pass comes out, will you please make the second pass so that the guy will be wide open for a shot?
Spurs, he'll be 8 of 8 from the free throw line.
If you get a shot off here fairly quick, you'll get another possession.
Barkley gets off the triple fairly quick.
Not only that, you get the 3. They're now going to take their time. You get the last shot of the half.
And it's tied at 56. Kevin Johnson threatening to get an illegal defensive call. Didn't get it. It's 2-point Spurs lead. J.R. Reed.
Yeah, I'm happy for Reed. He needs to get off the schneid with a basket, go in at halftime, feel a little better.
They isolate Kevin Johnson on Willie Anderson. Remember, this has been emotional.
It's going to be screen and roll with Barkley.
Kevin Johnson loses the handle out to Del Negro. It did not beat the buzzer. At the end of the first half, a frenzied first half. The Spurs lead it by 2. Willie Anderson off the bench. Broken eye socket, wearing goggles. 12 points, 2 rebounds. He's 4 of 6 from the floor.
Antonio trying to stay afloat in this series with a 2-point lead over Phoenix. The Suns trying to close them out, but it's 58-56 San Antonio at the break. This is the Reebok Halftime Report. I'm Ernie Johnson. This is Boston Celtics head coach Chris Ford. We'll be talking about a lot of stuff in the next few minutes, but first we want to hit to the news. And Larry Brown has resigned as the head coach of the LA Clippers. 64-53 as the head coach there. He resigned with a couple of years left on his contract. He's been mentioned in the Atlanta coaching vacancies and possibly Cleveland if Lenny Wilkins doesn't hang around. At any rate, he is gone as the Clipper head coach of his own volition. Other news tonight, the fines for that little tussle the other night between Seattle and Houston. Nate McMillan and Scott Brooks were the main combatants. 52-50 for Nate and 22-50 for Scott Brooks. Winston Garland out for a flagrant foul on Gary Payton is fined $5,000. And George Karl was all over the place the other night also, and he is fined $5,000. Let's talk to Scotty Brooks at the Summit in Houston as they get ready for Game 6 tonight against the Sonics. Feeling a little lighter in the wallet, I presume, Scotty.
Yes, I am. A little bit lighter.
I'm telling you what, though. I mean, that was a pretty rough game. I'm surprised it took that long for the emotions to come to the top.
Well, you're talking about 2 very physical, talented teams. I'm surprised that it didn't happen in the first couple of games. But fortunately, it didn't happen. But, the other night, those things happened. Both teams were competing very hard. And it ended up like that. Just unfortunately, it's going to cost me a couple of $1,000s.
Scotty, Chris Ford here. I think a big key is getting the ball to Hakeem and making sure he stays involved in the offense. And Seattle's going to come out there and try to do a lot of different things. What have you guys worked on?
Well, we worked on handling their pressure. They want to try to get us to do things that we're not comfortable doing. And that is not giving the ball to Hakeem. But that's been our main offense all year long, to work the ball inside and have the perimeter players work off the inside. And Otis and Hakeem, they've been doing a good job all series, and we're going to continue to work it inside.
I also think that Kenny Smith is going to have to play big basketball out there tonight. Make sure you guys get some transition baskets and keep that pressure on him as well.
I think Kenny's going to have a big game tonight. He didn't play all that well last game, but he's a competitor. He's going to come out firing tonight. We need to have a big game out of all the players on this team. Seattle's a very talented team. We need to play them aggressive and play with a lot of confidence. I think we will, especially in our building tonight.
What is the Scott Brooks theory on this home court thing in the Western Conference Semifinals? A home team just cannot lose. Why is that?
Well, it's like we're 2 different teams. At home, both teams play very confident and very aggressive. On the road, we don't play with that kind of enthusiasm, the kind of aggressiveness that you need to win on the road. Unfortunately, we haven't played on the road too well in this series, but we're looking forward to playing them Saturday.
Scotty
positive
Brooks,
thinking.
Hey, thank you very much for your time tonight at the Summit. Good luck against the Seattle Supersonics.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's our pleasure. And Scott Brooks joining us. And that'll be Sonics and the Rockets. Game 6 of that series, Game 2 of our doubleheader, coming up later tonight on TNT. The Spurs buy a jumper at the break at Hemisfair as the Reebok halftime report continues. That New York-Chicago series should be some fun to watch. A couple of guys from your conference. How do you see that Eastern Conference final, Chris?
Well, I still like Chicago, the defending champions. I think that Michael's going to be well rested. I think he'll be healthy with that wrist, and it's going to be exciting from the fact that it's two great defensive teams going head-to-head. May not be pretty basketball, but it's going to be hard-nosed, hard-fought games.
Yeah, is it going to be tougher on Michael? I mean, Cleveland's kind of like Charmin, and the Knicks are kind of like sandpaper, I think.
I wouldn't go that far. I just think that, Chicago's going to be ready. I think that, if you go back to Michael playing in the Olympics and through the 82-game schedule, he didn't really have time to rest. Now, throughout the playoffs, because they're eliminating their opponents early, he's getting his needed rest.
That Eastern Conference final begins on Sunday. Let's get more on it from Craig Sager.
The rate of interest for Chicago, New York is at an all-time high. Ever since last year's memorable 7-game series, the prospect of a rematch has been looming.
I think very evident that these are the two teams that's the best in the East right now, and the two heads are going to go at each other. And I think you got two great coaches who are going to have both of their teams physically and mentally ready, willing to make adjustments from game to game. So the stage is set.
A lot of value was placed on the regular season, where the Knicks secured the best record in the East. However, the Bulls' stock has risen in the playoffs. And now, with Jordan at full strength, New York is next.
I laid awake at night thinking about watching him over on the wing against the Cavaliers, or against us. And he brings everybody to a polarized, paralyzed state. So we're going to attack. And in those situations, if it gets down to the wire, we'll go to our money, they'll go to their money, and then we'll see which one earns it.
In this bull market, the trend has been to give the edge to the team with Michael Jordan in its portfolio. And now, here in New York, the challenge must come from a young and emotional John Starks.
Starks had his hands full with Michael Jordan, and anytime you have to play defense on the best basketball player in the world, it can limit some of your offensive abilities. I've known for a lot of years, being on that other side, having to play against a great player like that.
Michael's a great player. We all know that. But I think that John, he's going to keep his head. He's going to, stay focused and just do the best job he can.
John has played against that team 20 times, 25 times since he's been with New York. We're 6-6 with the Bulls after going 0-16. We know we can beat them. They know we can beat them. John knows he can be successful against the Bulls.
I had to step up and play big, simple as that. And I understand that. I think when you challenge, it seems to bring out your best game. And I'm a person and a player who's like to challenge. And I always say if I want to go down and play, someone, I want to play the best. And, Michael is the best, and I understand that. So it's a challenge for me to go out there and play him as hard as I can.
That should be a doozy. Check it out. The Knicks shot 48% against the Bulls, 37%. Jordan and Ewing, of course, carrying the load. The Knicks beat them 3 times in the regular season, but keep in mind the Cavs had beaten the Bulls 3 times in the regular season as well. So you like Chicago in this series, huh, Coach?
Bulls in 7.
In 7. And
hard 7.
It'd be 10 or 11 if they could. The Reebok halftime report continues after this. And sit in the locker rooms here, Coach.
Well, there's a lot of games that have to be left to play. 24 minutes, and Willie Anderson just did a fantastic job out there sparking the Spurs and igniting them and getting the fans back into the game.
With the goggles and everything, doesn't seem to be bothering them. The Spurs lead at 58-56, the third period, just ahead from San Antonio.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok, who reminds you that on Planet Reebok, there are no limits.
San Antonio Spurs, 58-56. The San Antonio Spurs did almost everything right. They've had a whale of a first half, including great performance from their bench. The bad news for them is they're only up by 2 points after that effort.
And also bad news, Avery Johnson with 4 fouls.
Yeah.
Ellis and Elliott are definitely not in the swing, both guys with 6 points. But we are seeing sensational perimeter shooting. We've had 8 threes made at both ends of the floor.
Let's talk about Larry Smith. He went out injured. You talked to him just a moment ago
Right,
on
I
the
just
floor.
went out on the floor. That knot that we showed you just is in his regular physical makeup. It's still there, believe it or not. But he said it's not giving me any trouble. It is my knee. But he said, I worked it out. Everything is fine. I'm available in the second half.
Which will be good news for John Lucas and the San Antonio Spurs. He'll be matched up at some point during that half against Charles Barkley, who had a whale of a first half. The bench for the Spurs really made a difference, bigger than just that point total.
Yeah, what they did is they gave them that inspiration. They fell behind, came back, rallied, grabbed the lead. Anderson playing big along with Cummings. The three-point shooting has just been terrific. Just to show you in the series. Now remember, the Suns are the 3rd highest shooting three-point shooting team over the 82 games. Now Charles Barkley had a magnificent half. Now here he comes in. He jumps in right now from about the 6th row and sends this baby home with a lot of strength. Charles had a terrific first half. Now Avery Johnson's going to come down here. Now watch how he loses the ball once he goes behind his back. See, he loses it, but so he couldn't take the shot. He drops it off to Willie Anderson, who's coming in and not worrying about contact to the head. Now the ball movement for the Spurs, up and down. When they move the ball like this, they always get the open shot, and they're putting premium pressure on the Phoenix Suns in their rotations.
And the marquee guys, Robinson with 12 and 4 rebounds, Charles with 14 and 12. Interesting thing from Charles Barkley's point of view is Charles had 14 points in the first quarter, none in the second quarter. 10 to shoot for San Antonio. David Robinson looking for help. Barkley with the steal. And he draws the foul, goes into the expensive seats. It'll be on Dale Ellis.
Well, the one thing that you can do.
Look at this.
Yeah, you either say to yourself, I'm going to let him go and score the easy layup, or I'm going to try to foul him before he gets off the shot. But anytime that you hit a guy who's a scorer, they get that ball up in the air right away for the continuation.
3 expensive things in that collision. The camera, Charles' shoes, and Charles. And they all are said to be okay.
Well, you can see it right there. Games 2 and Game 5, when they needed it, Charles really stepped up. The other 3 games, you say, well, he struggled. Well, it all depends upon what you mean by struggling.
58-57, Spurs by 1. Opening moments, quarter number 3. This is Game 6, Western Conference Semifinals. The Phoenix Suns lead it 3 games to 2. San Antonio fighting to survive in the playoff series. David Robinson.
Now, with Avery Johnson out there with 4 fouls, Bob, there should be an isolation somewhere here where Kevin Johnson just takes him to the basket. I would go right at him and get the 5th foul on this guy, because he's the guy who gives them the up-tempo basketball.
J.R. Reed once again with his hands full of Charles Barkley. There's the double team. Nice one-touch pass into Mark West. Robinson with the rejection. Dale Ellis fouled by Richard Dumas.
See, Dumas has a problem anytime a guy catches the basketball out on the wing, if he's out there deep, because he has trouble playing you off the dribble. He'll eventually foul you. That's a great pass in. Now they look down. This is all designed. Now West has got to send that with 2 hands. See? If you send that with 2 hands, David Robinson would hesitate about trying to block that.
Bad pass from Dale Ellis as Dumas stepped back into the passing lane on the double team and picked it off. Now Dumas with the 15-footer. Rebound J.R. Reed.
See, in tonight's game, Dumas, very quiet, 0 for 1, and even Sabalas at that position, 2 for 2.
Avery Johnson with the reverse. What a play on the pass from Sean Elliott.
Nice play by Avery.
The pride of Southern University.
His marker guy, he's really gone up in the second half of the season.
He was a non-existent in the first half. Benny Del Negro was the primary point guard. Barkley with the fadeaway. He misses it. Sean Elliott with a rebound. Spurs try to run, but the excellent transition defense. Left open for 3 was Ellis. Elliott
from the rear. Elliott with a loose ball foul.
like to give you a look at Avery. Now watch how he comes underneath the rim and lays it up on the opposite side. Now remember, when they say he's 5'11", they're giving him a feel. They're catching him when he's got his boots on with the high heel.
His Spurs and his boots. 62-57, 9:53 to go in the third quarter. Kevin Johnson had himself an excellent first half also. 9 points. Now he has 11.
I just can't believe it, right? He continues to go down the middle because the guy guarding the screener never steps up to make him bend out. You can't let him keep turning the corner.
Sean Elliott got one-on-one. He has his jam attempt blocked by Charles Barkley, who then rips it loose.
Wow, look out. 3-on. Oh, great play by Robinson. Robinson is calling that he cut in front of him, and that's correct. If he did, that would be a foul on the dribbler, okay? But David Robinson said he saw me coming. Robinson, I feel, from our angle, has a legitimate point there.
That's the first personal on David Robinson. 3-point lead for the Spurs. Marley on the drive. Anderson stayed right with him. Barkley now with Reed in his face.
Well, he wants to score because he's had difficulty here in the first couple attempts.
J.R. Reed got away with the punch on the ball, then did not get away with the body. Once again, they do not allow the player to use that knee to force the offensive player away from the hoop, and that's what Jack Madden says J.R. Reed did, and that will be Reed's second personal.
They've been so consistent tonight, Bob. They're giving it all away. Now just watch this now as Kevin goes in front there and catches him with that elbow, and definitely that should not have been a foul. Should have been the other way. Now right here you're going to see both hands. See that one hand is in the small of the back and he's pushing him off as he goes with the bump. Jack Madden was like inches away from that call.
62-59 Spurs. Phoenix with a new shot clock. Here comes Charles against Reed again. Oliver Miller, Kevin Johnson.
Nice pass.
Good feed to Oliver. Oliver will get the roll.
They need Oliver to step up big here.
He has 6 points. Charles Barkley, who is without a field goal since the first quarter. Until he still doesn't have one. J.R. Reed with a rebound. Charles getting frustrated. 14 points in the first quarter. Has only a free throw since.
The people are incensed. They want every bump now to be a foul.
There's the double team. Robinson shooting it over. Gets the loose ball. Stripped away by Barkley, and they'll call him for the foul. We're at Hemisfair Arena. It is noisy in here, but what's new in the playoffs? 16,057. If San Antonio does not win tonight, if they lose, this will be their last game in this arena. Right now, the Spurs lead it by the slimmest of margins. J.R. Reed and Barkley.
On a tap, loose ball foul on Marley with the collision with David Robinson. See, right now, David Robinson must step up and give you an all-star, all-league performance. In Game 4 in the second half, David Robinson got up there and really got it done. Now, Barkley stepped up in Game 5 here. You can see it. Game 4, David Robinson. They need him to lead the way here.
Quick early fouls. Next time Spurs foul, they'll be in the penalty.
Nice pass.
The Phoenix Suns have 3 team fouls as Marley gets the steal. Dishes wisely to Kevin Johnson. This is the monster pick of Oliver.
That's there all night.
Rebound Elliott to Willie Anderson. Avery Johnson from 16.
Can someone score a basket here?
Neither team could miss in the first half.
We're getting a lot of activity. It's Wild and Willie.
Wild and Willie?
And you know, they're getting some good looks at the rim right now.
I gotta write that down. Barkley defended way out on the three-point line by Reed.
Charles is posting, but put down inside here now. Kevin Johnson.
5 to shoot. Barkley had to shoot it, missed it, had to force that one. He has not scored a field goal since the first quarter.
And you're right, Bob, he's forcing.
Avery Johnson to J.R. Reed.
The Suns need more ball movement right now. Get everyone involved. Get away from just two guys taking all the shots.
Charles Barkley with a great pass to Oliver Miller.
You see three passes like that in the painted area. You know, that's precision.
Spurs by 1. Spurs ball. 14 on the shot clock. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor with 6:37 to go in the third quarter. Spurs hold on to that slim lead.
Keep an eye on Oliver Miller with his arms up in the air in the middle of the screen. All right, the pass goes into Kevin Johnson. Good penetration to Barkley. Now watch Miller move to be open. Beautiful soft touch pass by Barkley.
First quarter, 14 points, 6 of 12. Since then, 1 point of free throw. He's been 0 for 4. Hasn't had many good looks at the basket. When he has taken a shot, he's had to force it. Somebody's been right in his face. I think J.R. Reed has done a whale of a job on him.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job this half. Plus, Charles is waiting too long. He's allowing the clock to come down because now you have the added pressure, not only of a bad angle, but also with the shot clock at either 1 or 2.
7 on the shot clock for the Spurs on this inbounds play. J.R. Reed takes it to the hoop. He has to force that one in the face of Barkley.
See, from now to the end, the players have got to stop complaining. These referees are experienced guys. This is the second round. You're not going to get the easy bump. So you have got to play through this. This is the NBA. To excel at this level, you've got to be able to handle the rest of the game, and especially in a Game 6 or a Game 7.
5 seconds on the shot clock for Barkley. He still has no field goal. He's 0 for 5. Phoenix 3 for 10 from the floor. Spurs 3 for 9 in this quarter.
The reason why we bring that point out is because in the last 2 minutes, guys are complaining about everything.
J.R. Reed down low on Oliver, spins out of there. The rookie with a rebound.
Now in this series, Oliver Miller has the same amount of blocks per game as David Robinson, and he's playing half the time.
Willie Anderson on Kevin Johnson. They get the switch now. Oliver Miller alone down low. Out of bounds off Phoenix. It'll be Spurs ball. Let's have a look at tonight's Chevrolet scoreboard. It is the scoreless scoreboard. We are awaiting Game 6 in the Seattle-Houston series. From the Summit in Houston, it will immediately follow on TNT. After this Spurs-Suns game, Ron Cool and Doug Collins have it for you in Houston.
Well, Game 5 in Seattle, the Seattle guards absolutely destroyed the Houston guards. Big numbers, both guys, Peyton and Pierce coming in with over 20 points.
7 to shoot. Down to 4. Sean Elliott beats the buzzer on the drive.
Replace that backboard. Willie had just shattered. That ball really hit hard.
Now Kevin Johnson has it stripped away by Terry Cummings.
Nice.
Willie Anderson, Robinson up front. To Robinson for the jam.
We'd like to show you right now, you know, Sean Elliott here. Now just watch the force that this ball hits the backboard. All right, and he's watching it. He banked that one in straight on. Now at this end, Kevin Johnson gets triple teamed. Terry Cummings makes the strip. Now once they come out, Willie Anderson is 6'8" on this break, but he's smart. Give it up to the big fella and let him send it down.
Phoenix called the timeout. The Spurs have a 5-point lead with 4:39 to go in the third quarter. Phoenix leading the series 3-2. The Spurs must win tonight to stay alive.
Half-court trap now. It's a 3-2 half-court trap.
Follows just into the ball game. Gives it up to Marley for the 3.
And that's what's always available against the trap. If you take it in, you kick back out, and the perimeter shooters will be wide open.
Marley has 3 3-pointers here tonight. 4 4:10 to go in the quarter. It's a 2-point Spurs lead.
I told you at halftime, there were 8 threes made at halftime. 4 by each team. Perimeter shooting excellent.
Willie Anderson missing from the perimeter.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of basketball.
Spurs ball.
Because if you make the next pass, Avery Johnson is wide open in the corner. You say, well, Avery Johnson, is not the main man. Avery Johnson is shooting 52% in the series, and he's on it, and he's knocking down those 15 to 17-foot shots.
Barkley knocks it out of bounds, knocks Robinson down. 2 fellow dream teamers, not so dreamy right now. New 24-second clock. Spurs by 2. Elliott gets to the hoop. He hasn't been able to get there successfully much tonight. That is only Sean Elliott's 10th point, and he'll go to the line.
But how about, though, Bob? How many times have we seen them clear out tonight? Where in the game 5, they started off by giving him all of that freedom. Now tonight, remember, he did pop that hamstring. We know that it's bothering him. Now how much only he knows, and John Lucas. So they're not going to put their cards on the table. So they're staying away from all of the one-on-one basketball for Sean this evening.
11 points, 6 rebounds, 71-66 Spurs. Ceballos, Miller, Barkley, Marley.
They're looking him down inside. Miller had Robinson posted. See, Charles is holding the ball much too long in this quarter.
4 to shoot. 3. The foul before the shot. Charles is 0 for 6 this quarter. Since the first quarter. He had 14 points in quarter number 1. Has not scored a field goal since. But we talked about a real slump for Charles Barkley in game number 5 up in Phoenix the other night. And then wham, bam, came the fourth quarter. And he got 19 points at one point, 13 in a row.
Well, he said that in that fourth quarter, he outscored the Spurs 19 to 14 and out-rebounded them 6 to 4. I would say that's yeoman's work.
3:29 to go in the third quarter. 13 rebounds tonight for Charles also as Danny Ainge is into the ball game for Cedric Ceballos.
When you're trying to steal one, you must play defense. You've got to upgrade your defense. Shift gears, hold the Spurs to one shot, and then take high percentage shots. But right now, the ball movement is not there for the for the Suns. They need better ball movement. Here's a trap on Avery Johnson.
Nice pass to Terry Cummings on the baseline. Cummings has 8.
There's a saying in basketball, when you trap up, you never leave a guy on the baseline. The baseline people must be covered first.
10 on the shot clock. Barkley again looking for his first field goal since the first quarter. Lob into Marley, blocked by Robinson. That's his second of the night.
Hey, that's what they need. He must ignite the building, and this block has them up. They're up screaming and yelling. Now you're going to see a nice pass. Barkley thinks he's wide open. Here comes the Admiral. They need him at this defensive end of the floor.
4 on the shot clock. Ainge, bullet pass to Miller. Sean Elliott almost got that one, but Miller scored, kept his focus. 73-70 Spurs.
When the Suns pass the basketball, Bob, they really make beautiful passes.
Oliver Miller, 4 of 4 tonight from the floor. He was 2 of 2 in limited minutes in game number 5.
Terry's got to watch a double team.
5 seconds. 4. There is the double team. Nowhere to go. Leans in. Doesn't get it at the buzzer. Marley with a rebound. Terry Cummings, exceptionally strong.
See, there's that screen and roll again.
David Robinson went after that, causing Ainge to miss. Back comes the Spurs.
He's going all the way.
And the foul on Kevin Johnson.
You can see that. He makes up his mind at half court. You can see it in his eyes as he's running by him. And then he drifts to the right, and he catches Kevin moving. Then he puts the burners on and beats him to the left side of that hole. You got to give him a lot of credit. I mean, he is really playing good basketball. And you're happy for him because he's in this quarter with 4 fouls. John Lucas has gambled, and it's paying off.
10 points, 8 assists for Avery Johnson. 75-70, 2:10 to go in the quarter.
Got a high screen and roll here with Oliver Miller.
Kevin Johnson answers with the drive. throws it off Barkley. Spurs ball. Charles is going to argue with Steve Javy.
See, the baseline referee, Jake O'Donnell, was blocked out. Steve Javy on the side made the call. Jake looked right at him. He made the call. Strong. He made a strong move. So he must have had a good look at that. And we're going to show it to you right here. There it is right there. The ball was knocked out off of Willie Anderson. And you know what? That camera is murder, isn't it?
Sean Elliott on the drive. What a shot! How did he get that to fall? Wait till you see that one back. Sean Elliott with a Jordan-esque move on the baseline, and he'll go to the free throw line.
You love to see this young guy when he's really moving with the dribble, because all of this is possible. He's an acrobat. He has a high percentage shot. He shoots the ball with a very, very soft touch. Now, in the last 3 games, he has stepped up. Over his career, every year, he's improved his scoring.
Oliver Miller called for the personal, his second.
Nice to see him in the All-Star game. He's going to be there for a long time.
Sean Elliott, 8 points this quarter. 1:41 to go in the third. The Spurs with their biggest lead of the night. Barkley draws the foul.
Yeah, that's right, Charles. There's no way Reed can play him deep. Reed can trouble him outside by laying off him and getting that long arm up there. But when Charles makes the catch and moves quickly, don't wait for the double team. Move quickly. Reed cannot handle it.
Reed has 3 personal fouls.
Bob, that was just brute strength, nothing else.
Charles to the line with 17 points. No field goal since his 14 points in the first quarter. Frank Johnson about to enter the game for Kevin Johnson for the Phoenix Suns.
Now, we don't need to give Charles any alibis, but he is playing with a bruised right shoulder. He does have a hamstring problem, and he's playing big. And I like what he said the other day in Phoenix before Game 5. If you can't play with pain, then you can't play pro basketball or any pro sport.
5 of 6 from the line tonight. It's a 6-point Spurs lead. David Robinson on the bench. Anderson, Reed, Sean Elliott, Cummings, and Avery. Frank Johnson with the steal, and here he comes right to our bench. I didn't know we were going to have him for an interview this quickly.
That was a great defensive play by Barkley first, and then Frankie Johnson reading the double team and shooting that passing angle. We're going to show it to you. Now just watch what happens. Barkley comes right in here on a double team. There's the pass. Frankie Johnson left his man and shot that passing angle. And here comes Frankie. Unfortunately for us, the wonderful fans at courtside from San Antonio caught him.
I think it just gives an idea of the kind of intense pressure and the physical danger that Hubie Brown and I are under night after night in the rigors of the NBA playoffs. Frank Johnson hits them both.
Phoenix wants this win, hoping that the other series will go 7 games so they get some time off. The game is definitely winnable. It's up for grabs.
4-point lead for the Spurs.
No team likes to play an extra game because you never know who might get injured in an extra game.
J.R. Reed open on the baseline from Avery Johnson, who has a ton of assists tonight. He had 15 assists in game number 5 and 9 here. Cummings comes away with the ball. Elliott out in front of J.R. Reed. He'll pull up.
Hey, Frankie Johnson wanted to charge that time. Not in this league. You're not going to get that one when they kick out that far out for the open shot.
San Antonio led by 2 at the half. They're up 8 here with 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Charles Barkley has not scored since the first period from the floor. Oliver Miller rims it out.
Oh, what a tap by Barkley.
That's his first basket since the first quarter, and he earned it.
Well, he told me that he's tired of you talking about it.
Willie Anderson.
Now, that's the penalty right there.
Fouled on the pass.
Now, keep an eye on this. Charles just worked his way right down inside and gets up in there. One thing that you love about him, he'll take all that body contact. He's a man, and he gets down inside, and he uses that upper body strength to clear people out.
That's 4 personals on Danny Ainge as Anderson misses the free throw. Maybe he should put those goggles back up there.
No, he's been shooting them all night without the goggles, and he's doing a nice job.
Vinny Del Negro in the ballgame. Out of North Carolina State, you may recall.
Well, John Lucas gambled, and he benefited. Avery Johnson had a terrific third quarter, plus he never picked up foul 5.
Off the bench, 20 points from Cummings and Anderson. Anderson gets 1 out of the 2 free throws.
Second round, playoff time. You always want those experienced guys who've been there, and these 2 guys have been there a number of times.
7-point Spurs lead, 10 seconds.
Opening up the floor, giving Kevin Johnson a one-on-one. Now you must protect about the kick out for the 3.
Willie Anderson, excellent defensive player. There's the kick out, but Marley has the shot bothered by Willie Anderson. Outstanding defense by Willie Anderson. Speaking of colleges, from the University of Georgia. Sean Elliott, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 10 in the third period. And San Antonio outscores Phoenix by 7 in the third. Brown with you from Hemisfair Arena. Western Conference Semifinals, Game 6. Suns lead it 3-2, but the Spurs have the 7-point lead to start the final 12 minutes. If the Spurs were to lose here, it would end their season and be their last game in the Hemisphere before they would head to the Alamo Dome for next year. Phoenix obviously would love to close it out tonight. Otherwise, they'll have to go back for a Game 7 in Phoenix on the weekend. Coming up right after this one, Houston, Seattle, from the Summit in Houston, Texas.
Now, speaking of that Alamo Dome, Bob, it opened up over the weekend. It will seat 70,000 in football, 22,000 in basketball, and at playoff time, they'll open it up that it will seat 33,000 for the playoffs next year.
Field goal percentage in the third quarter, as you see, the Suns only 33%. They only shot 49% in the first half.
And that was interesting. The Spurs were showing trap, and then they just backed off and played man-to-man.
Cummings punches it away. Barkley has 6 seconds.
That's right.
Frank Johnson sees the open. Offensive foul, Frank Johnson.
Offensive foul.
J.R. Reed took the charge. He really was punished.
Yeah, but, you know, the story here, Bob, is he took it, but he was below the dotted line. So Frankie Johnson feels that, hey, that's a non-call in the NBA, and I either should be on the foul line or it's a non-call.
The foul goes on Frankie Johnson. Here's the full court pressure from Phoenix, beaten easily as Anderson rifles it to J.R. Reed.
They're a little confused right now.
Mark Weston at center for the Phoenix Suns. Vinny Del Negro kicks it to the corner. Sean Elliott buries the 3. Sean has 19 points, and it's a 10-point Spurs lead, the biggest by either team in this game.
They're bringing Barkley to the ball. Nice pass.
He was defended on the baseline by Vinny Del Negro. He just blew by Vinny.
Well, what happened there was Vinny was holding him up. And what they were going to do is he was going to hold him up so that the defender could get over the top. And what happened, Danny Ainge delivered. Watch Danny Ainge deliver. Eye contact. Hit him in the paint, not when he comes out of the paint. And then Barkley sends it down, and he's got a chance for a 3. And that's what we've been trying to bring out in the series. David Robinson is open a lot as he comes across the rim, but he never gets the ball until he gets out of the paint.
The derisive jeers from this crowd here, and Barkley loves it. 7-point Spurs lead, 11 minutes to go in this ball game. Spurs hoping to send it back to Phoenix. David Robinson will be back on the floor momentarily for San Antonio.
Now, right now, Marley and Ainge must help out on the boards with this small group out there defensively.
7 to shoot. J.R. Reed.
Unless Charles don't get all the rebounds. Maybe he will.
He has 16 in this game tonight.
Well, I think maybe he will.
Good point.
Here's that post up again using Ainge. The reason being, if you double team, Ainge will be wide open. Nice pass.
Tom Chambers comes into the game wide open. He hits a 10-footer on the baseline.
Love to see Tommy get that first shot down. He's really an exciting player. In that first half, Tommy was 3 for 4. Gave him... No, I'm sorry. Chambers was 2 for 4 in 7 minutes.
10 to shoot for San Antonio, having trouble with their half-court offense here. Benny Del Negro to pull up on the baseline. Chambers with a big defensive board. This 10-point Spurs lead has been cut to 5.
Watch a 3.
And now 2 as Ainge hits the triple. The Suns on an 8-0 run. Timeout, San Antonio.
See, give them their due. Anytime that you're in transition, we said this early, you must be aware of Ainge and Marley shooting the 3.
Boy in the paint. The Suns' small forwards aren't here tonight in terms of productivity, but Sean Elliott sure is.
Yes, Sean Elliott's here, but he's being guarded by Dan Marley. So, you know, the small forwards are playing the 2 guard. And in the rebounding, we can see, hey, Barkley might be struggling, but he's coming in with the big numbers. And we're going to give you a telestrator here. Now, keep an eye on Frankie Johnson. Here's Danny Ainge. Where's Danny Ainge's man? Right here. Now, just watch an old pro. The old pro, Frankie Johnson, makes the pass. Now watch what he does. How about that? He just takes him right out of the play and says, Danny, it's all yours. Just beautiful.
Frank Johnson setting the screen. Get this, the Suns are shooting 45% from 2-point range, 60% from 3-point range.
They're knocking him down. We're seeing great perimeter shooting tonight.
Spurs by 2, 9:46 to go in this ball game. It's anybody's game.
How's the screen for Elliott?
David Robinson draws the double team. J.R. Reed trouble handling it. 5 to shoot. Willie Anderson has to shoot the fadeaway. Barkley with his 17th rebound and a chance to tie this game. The Spurs had led it by 10.
Oh, you've got to get to Barkley.
Chambers fadeaway goes down. It's tied at 86.
You know what, Bob? A lot of players are slipping right now. This floor is slippery for some reason. Guys are going to their knees.
Offensive foul.
Now, Tommy Chambers got popped that time by Robinson on the right side of his head, probably in around that ear area.
That's the second on Robinson. This is Bob Neal and Hubie Brown. 6 and 16,057 of our closest friends at the Hemisfair Arena. Game 6, Western Conference Semifinal. Spurs lead it 3-2, and it's knotted at 86 here.
Oh, beautiful. Nice. Both guys got caught on the screen. Chambers set the baseline screen. Both men picked up Barkley. Hey, Ainge has made 2 great passes here underneath the rim.
Phoenix 12-0 in the last 2 minutes. Robinson fouled on his way to the hoop.
You're coaching in the game, so and when you teach philosophy at clinics, you tell guys, when you go down 6-0, 8-0, 10-0, you've got to understand that you're not getting to the foul line. Go through your pivot people, allow them to go and get fouled. That way you stop the momentum and you get a chance to get on the foul line.
Well, David Robinson did, he did, and now he's going to. Robinson only 4 points this half.
Well, this is big right here, okay? The 66%, because in Game 5, let's face it, in the 4th quarter, David went to the line with the pressure on and missed 4.
Misses both of Lee's. Chambers with a rebound. Those were big misses.
Right now, if I'm Phoenix, I continue to work Barkley on this baseline screen with Ainge doing the passing. Now, there goes Frankie Johnson down in to set the screen on Barkley. All right, now you go down in now. Who has him? David Robinson.
5 to shoot.
Don't wait too long, Charles.
Barkley with the turnaround jumper. It won't fall. Elliott with the rebound as David Robinson stepped up and forced him to take the tough shot.
Every time he does that tonight, it's short.
Avery Johnson looking to tie on this possession. On the penetration. What a play. Blocked by Barkley. Inside to J.R. Reed. It's tied.
Nice pass by David Robinson. That was rejected by Barkley right to Robinson, who made a quick, tough move down inside.
This is an entertaining series between Phoenix and San Antonio, tied at 88, 7:44 remaining.
Here comes Barkley again on that baseline, but they have Robinson on them all the time now.
Now Robinson on Ainge, who pulls up. Chambers with the loose ball foul.
Tommy's working, though. He had a good chance at that one. Anytime that people take those three-point shots, you know the rebound is coming long, and it will usually come out 15, 18 feet.
That's 4 personals on Chambers. Tied at 88. Spurs had led by 10 only 3 minutes ago in this quarter.
Once again, they're struggling with their half-court offense.
Robinson is fouled on his way to the basket again.
So we're in that fourth quarter. We get around that 10-minute mark where they're playing well. They did the same thing in Game 5, and then they struggle. They slow it down, play half court rather than keep the up-tempo in your ball movement, because when you do that, you take advantage of your guys off the dribble.
So David Robinson, who missed his last 2 free throws, goes to the free throw line again, looking for important points here. David is 4 of 6 on the night and has 16 total points. Just a nightmare at the free throw line.
The offense is getting you on the line. You're the man. You're the main guy. Now Ellis is in for Elliott right now. You've got to step up and knock them home because of the confidence factor for the rest of your ball club.
So he's 1 out of his last 4, and it's a 1-point Spurs lead, 7:19 remaining.
I like what Phoenix is doing. They're getting good looks at the basket. High screen and roll now.
Into Barkley. Beat David Robinson, who tried to step out on the screen and roll. Barkley saw it and just slid down to the baseline.
The guy who did that the best was Rick Barry. Would always hit that roll man. Golden State.
Barkley with the steal and then the foul on Dale Ellis. We got a timeout on the floor.
Now just keep an eye. See, he faked the screen and he's moving to the basket. But most important, the guy gave him the ball. That's the key. When you make that move, that guy with the basketball has got to deliver the pass.
Suns lead it by 1, 90-89, 6:57 to go in the ball game. The West has been an incredible nail-biting playoff series. In the East, not quite so much, but it's about to become that way as the Bulls and the Knicks will head at each other this week. The Bulls have lost their last 4 in New York, but heck, the Bulls lost to the Hawks and they lost to Cleveland and didn't have any problem with them in the playoffs, so it's another team there. In the Western Conference, Sonics are going to try to get out of that with a 4-2 win and beat Houston there, but they haven't been able to do it so far in the playoffs. Rockets won both games at home by 18 and 11. Hubie and I televised those last Saturday and Sunday night, and Houston looked really terrific there at home and probably will be again tonight.
Well, I think that Houston has the upper advantage tonight. Hakeem Olajuwon, he's going to be consistent with that shot blocker. Get Barkley out of there. Will you go out there and tell him to stop hogging the limelight? But the big thing there is the Houston guards must come in and shoot a high percentage tonight from the perimeter. I think last night between the two guys, they were 4 for 21 or 22.
Suns by 1, hoping to close it out here at San Antonio. Chambers against David Robinson. Robinson blocked it. It's going to belong to Phoenix.
Yeah, Tommy Chambers felt he was hit on that one and was looking for the call. He's very upset that he didn't get that call.
Only 3 seconds on the shot clock for the Phoenix Suns since the ball never touched the rim on that possession.
He's going to take him off the dribble.
J.R. Reed got a piece of it. That's a violation. It'll be inbounded on the sideline by San Antonio, down 1 point.
Once again, to your credit, you've had J.R. Reed with some great defensive plays tonight, and he has. He's really, anytime that he's playing a guy like moving, he's been able to get that long arm up.
Larry Smith has been unable to re-enter the game after spraining his knee in the first half. Antoine Carr on the bench with the sprained ankle. J.R. Reed has to do it for the Spurs.
Plenty of time here. You got 12 seconds.
Shoots over the double team. Barkley has 18 rebounds in this game. Phoenix by 1. The crowd sitting on their hands at the moment.
Can't give him the middle.
Marley rims out the 3. It went almost all the way down in there.
See, this right now, it might be a second guess here, a strong second guess. The Spurs have got to move the basketball. That's when they're at the best here. And when they run and they don't get to the half-court slow-down business because they're struggling in the half-court sets.
With 5 to shoot. Avery Johnson misses. They are 2 of 7, the Spurs, this quarter from the floor.
They've got to go back to that fast tempo, Bob. When they get the rebound, get it up the floor so that your guys can get in the open floor. That's where Phoenix is having trouble defending.
They leave Barkley all alone for the 3. He misses it. Willie Anderson now run.
Oh, bad pass.
Kevin Johnson with the steal.
Never throw a cross-court pass into traffic.
Marley dishes it down to Barkley, who is fouled hard by Willie Anderson, and Charles will go to the free throw line with 5:09 remaining in this ball game.
Now they've taken Reed out, and they've come with Terry Cummings right now. And also Anderson is out, and Sean Elliott is in. So we have Ellis at the 2 guard, Avery Johnson at the point, Sean Elliott, Terry Cummings at the big forward position.
Both teams have committed 3 team fouls with 5:09 to go, and it's a 1-point game, so we'll watch that team foul situation for you. It'll become significant. Barkley rims it up. Charles 6 of 8 from the line tonight.
When you're playing transition, you never throw the ball from one side of the court to the other because the defensive players are all running back in the middle, and if one of them spots it, it's easier for them because of the angle to make an interception.
Barkley misses them both. Spurs have 1 field goal in the last 6.5 minutes. As Hubie has been pointing out, they've not been starting their half-court offense sometimes with only 10 seconds on the shot clock, which is what it is right here.
There's that double screen on the baseline.
Ellis buries it, nobody in his face.
Double screen. Ellis came from the left corner all the way to the right corner for that.
Kevin Johnson defended by Avery, isolated on the drive, the double team. 1-touch pass. Back, Barkley to Miller. What excellent interior passing by the Suns.
Amen.
Miller, 5 out of 6, has 10 points.
Now they need him now. They need him to play good defense and then rebound. Good defense on Robinson. But then, when they get that double teaming, just show up, big fella, and we'll get you the ball in the paint.
Got the double stack.
Here's the clear out.
Avery Johnson going to drive past Barkley. 2 on the shot clock. Cummings is fouled. Boy, was he bailed out. The foul before the shot clock elapsed.
See what they're doing now, San Antonio. To the right side of the lane, they're running a double screen for Dale Ellis going to the corner. If they don't do that, they reverse it over to the other side. Now, this is just a great look going to a pro guy who has that experience of drawing the foul.
That's 3 on Miller.
I'd like to show you what the Spurs have been running. Sean Elliott right here is setting a screen for Ellis. But he's coming here off of the double screen on the baseline. He's been open in this corner. But right now, Elliott's going to step back. They're going to hit him with a pass, and you're going to see the clear out. There goes Ellis. He's not open. Now what happens? They're going one-on-one. When you double team, that opens up the little guy. Now he's going to miraculously save this, and then Cummings makes a beautiful move in order to get fouled.
Fourth quarter field goals. Phoenix 7 of 13. San Antonio 3 of 9. Fast break points. Both teams going conservatively.
Oh, absolutely. But the key one is the Spurs. They've been playing up tempo. That's what they wanted. That frees them up in the open floor. Once you become conservative, you're taking away a big part of your offensive arsenal.
Antoine Carr with his sprained ankle can do nothing more than lead the cheers, but he's doing a whale of a job of that tonight. He has a serious ankle. They did an MRI on it yesterday. No tears or broken bone, but it is still swollen significantly. It's going to be a while before he can play. Cummings misses the free throw.
How about the foul shooting in this quarter?
That rim gets awfully small.
Playoff basketball. Take care of the defensive boards. Make your foul shots.
Cummings gets one of them. It's tied at 92. Coming up right after this, the Seattle Supersonics are at the Summit in Houston. That'll be Game 6. Seattle hopes to close that out tonight.
High screen and roll with Barkley. Late. Great move. Great move by Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson has 13 points and 10 assists. 3:41 to go in the game.
Anytime you play Kevin, you know that he wants to go left.
Now Avery Johnson isolated. Gets it into David Robinson, who is grabbed by Charles Barkley. It will be a 2-shot foul.
Smart move by Barkley. He's not going to let him go in there on content. Now, we'll just watch it. See, that's a head fake right there. Just fooled him, and then Terry Cummins was late coming on the rotation.
David Robinson has hit only one of his last 4 free throw attempts.
In this quarter.
In this quarter.
You can see he's going for the extra bounces.
That works. How many bounces do you have there? I think it was 7.
Well, you know, your main man on each team, you got to step up. You got to step up.
Only 5 this time. Either one, 5 or 7 works.
You're the inspirational guy to the rest of your players. They're looking for you to lead.
Tied at 94, 3:25 to go. Spurs have a foul to give. Suns are in the penalty.
Clear out.
Cummings grabs Kevin Johnson. That'll send him to the line.
Kevin feels it right now. He knows that he can take Avery to the basket. And he can take him either way, Bob, to the middle or to his left.
And the Spurs, in a sense, waste their foul to give because of the grab. That was a 2-shot foul, and now the next one will send them to the free throw line on any foul.
Well, Kevin, as far as his career playoff, 47%. Right now, 53%. The last 2 years, he's been bothered by a bad hamstring and also lower back problems.
Suns by 2, 3:18 remaining.
Both teams have 3 timeouts, and both teams have a 20. Double screen for Ellis. He missed it. He looked away from him too early.
Ellis misses the 3. Robinson.
Big fella.
Can't hold on to it. There is Kevin Johnson, has Oliver Miller. Bullet pass back to Kevin.
That's a smart trap.
Oliver Miller misses it. Rebound. David Robinson, his 11th in this game. He had only 4 at the half.
Wide open.
Barkley, 19 rebounds. Suns by 2, 2:31 remaining.
We're either going to see a clear out here again or a screen and roll with Barkley. Keep Robinson high if you want to go. See, if you want to take him, you can take. Now you get the trap. That opens up the other side of the floor.
Excellent defense. Ainge launches it over Dale Ellis. It was counted. The block by Robinson.
And he went through the rim. Barkley's right, because he went up through the rim that time to get that.
That'll be 4 blocks for David Robinson.
Either that or my eyes are bad.
No, I don't think they're bad. Cummings, tough turnaround shot. Oliver Miller got a piece of that. Minute 53 to go. Suns continue to lead by 2.
Oliver Miller, an outstanding shot blocker. He's got the long arms.
Barkley with 20 rebounds in this game to go with his 26 points. Kevin Johnson with 3 to shoot.
Nice pass.
And Oliver Miller is fouled by Terry Cummings with 1 second on the shot clock. Here's the hand through the rim, or is it?
Well, it's going to be close. Keep an eye on it now. Watch the down pass, but look up at the top. As Barkley goes up, he wanted Robinson catching part of rim. See, right there. All right, and he came right down, yelling at it. That was basket interference, and it was. The eyes aren't bad, Bob.
20-20.
It's the beautiful pass to Barkley, but now watch David Robinson come up right through the net area, right up in here now. Now, there's his hand. All right, you can see the hand right up inside. All right, that is basket interference. Now watch Barkley. Barkley is now. He's not only playing, he's reffing, and he's right. He's absolutely right.
Well, you know he was in the submarine service.
Yeah, right. Well, see, he sent that one down strong.
The Loch Ness Monster coming out of the rim. Look at this. The fourth quarter, the Spurs with 4 turnovers, nothing off the fast break, only 25% from the field, and they were shooting 53% in the first 3 quarters. And Hubie, you've been pointing it out. The break, they have not been running. They've been setting up, getting it down to 10 and less to start the half-court offense.
Well, see, when you do that, Bob, when you just set up, you're relying on high percentage shots first. They're not getting them. And number 2, you're relying that your guys are going to go to the foul line and make your foul shots. And they're not doing that either. They missed 4 in the quarter.
Oliver Miller, a 67% free throw shooter in this series. Misses here. That was a big miss. It's a 2-point lead for the Phoenix Suns.
Well, you can see that Oliver Miller's points are down. He's really not been involved. But this guy is causing havoc out here defensively. Not only with the intimidation shot blocking, but also with the rebounding and blocking people out.
Miller misses them both. Big misses by both teams from the free throw line. Minute 19 to go in the game.
Can't wait all day here.
Robinson has it blocked as he drives. We'll have a jump ball.
Both guys had it. Both refs blew the whistle, had the up and down, no doubt about it. You see, now just watch this. Now, if you're a Spur fan, you want some body contact, okay? But how about this for a block? That's why Oliver Miller is in the game. And we told you earlier, he's averaging 3.2 blocks, the same as David Robinson in this series, and he's playing half the time.
Now, Avery Johnson sits down, and Willie Anderson comes on the floor. So it's Sean Elliott, Willie Anderson, and Ellis. Ellis comes away with it. Big tip there.
And Willie Anderson can see over Kevin Johnson.
Robinson is fouled by Miller.
Now give Robinson his due. He is definitely trying to take over this game. All right, and he is going strong to the basket. He's not allowing time to go by.
But the free throws.
Yeah, he's got to make the free throws. Well, that's what we said. When you play half-court basketball, you got to have confidence that you can go to the line and make it. Now he's 7 for 10 from the free throw line tonight. But this is the fourth quarter, and this is what the NBA is all about.
That rim gets down to about 8 inches for this 10-inch ball. David Robinson,
these people over here.
Phoenix lead.
There's, so look at Frankie. Frankie's coaching. He's giving it off from the sideline.
Robinson gets him one. It's a 1-point game with a minute remaining. Oh, my.
And when we told you Phoenix 2 timeouts in a 20, San Antonio 3 and a 20, both teams are shooting the penalty.
Under a minute.
High screen and roll.
10 on the shot clock.
Oh, there he goes.
Oliver Miller missed the dish, but Kevin Johnson stuck it back in. It's a 3-point lead for Phoenix. Timeout, San Antonio. 49 seconds remaining.
Now, the screen and roll right here has been trouble all night. Now watch right here. As the defender tries to fight over the top, he needs help from Robinson. You got to step up and make Kevin Johnson go out. But instead, Kevin Johnson comes and beats him in the lane. Now what does that mean? That means that Cummins must leave his man, and watch Oliver Miller step up in here, and he's wide open. See, this has been a nightmare the entire evening. Now he blows it, but fortunately Kevin Johnson bails them out.
49 seconds remaining in the season for the San Antonio Spurs unless they can overcome the 3-point Phoenix lead. The Suns have 2 full timeouts, 1:20, no fouls to give. The same is true for the Spurs. San Antonio has been able to score only 2 field goals in 10 and a half minutes. They certainly need one here. David Robinson down low. Gets Miller airborne. Goes back for the ball, but Barkley comes away with it.
Great hands by Barkley. Now they'll run some time here right now. You can see it. They're going to open up the floor. Now you've got to get Kevin. All right, that's smart basket. You got to go trap him, foul him, stop the clock here. You're only down 3, 30 seconds. Put the pressure on him now to go to the foul line, make the foul shots. You cannot allow him to run time off the clock.
Kevin Johnson, an 84% free throw shooter in this series, and he is 5 of 8 tonight.
San Antonio, 2 timeouts, and a 20.
The free throw shooting has been abysmal in this fourth quarter.
We're talking about a premier foul shooter here. We're talking about a guy who shoots 84% on the line.
This one would give Phoenix a 4-point lead with 30 seconds remaining in the game.
That's why you stop the clock with the foul.
It's a 4-point Phoenix lead. Timeout San Antonio. The Suns, 4 of 9 at the line in the fourth quarter, but they lead it by 4. Suns lead it by 4, 30 seconds remaining. UB, you were saying as we came out, you're looking at Charles Barkley. Let's do this first. 26 points, 21 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, and the biggest steal of all, the one that happened on the last possession.
Underneath the basket. Robinson was going up for a two-handed dunk. Now, right now, you have 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds right now. You got to go for the 2. You go for the 2 quickly, and that way it will be over 24 seconds to go. Consequently, the Spurs will have to shoot. You do not need a 3 unless it's a wide open shot. You want to score as quick as you can so that then you put the pressure on Phoenix.
Those David Robinson numbers were fourth quarter numbers. Ellis with the 3. He doesn't get it. It's out of bounds. San Antonio ball. 26.6 to go in the game. Lucas trying to yell instructions. He's going to call a 20. He had a 20 remaining. They'll use it here.
See, the problem with the 3, it's a low percentage shot to begin with. If you shoot it and you miss it and they get the ball, the game is over. Okay, but here they got a lucky break. The ball rolled and it went out of bounds. But now there's 26.6 seconds. Now the strategy changes. You've got to get a quick score. You go for the steal. Even if they call timeout, so what? Let them move at the half court. If they move at the half court, that shortens their passing lane because you need another steal. You need another possession here or a quick foul and make them make the foul shot. The precious thing now is clock management, how you manage these next 26 seconds. You don't take a bad percentage shot. You take something high. Either a guy isn't open, it's got to go down inside and attack the rim, whether it's off the dribble or down post play. If you don't score, you want to be on that foul line.
Coming up right after this when they're getting ready for tip-off just minutes from now, Seattle Supersonics at Houston. The Sonics hope to do what the Suns are in the process of doing here, and that's close it out at Houston.
Now right there, they just switched all along the line. See, they want this guy with the ball because he'll put it down on the dribble. Great defense by Ainge.
The lean in, that would have been for 3. Rebound Robinson. Ellis for the 3. Yes! With 14.5 down 1.
Put on your
Phoenix
defense.
ball.
You got to go for the foul. You can't let the clock go.
They did
there
go
you
for the
go.
foul.
You got the backcourt foul. You've stopped the clock right now. All right, you're only down 1, and you're putting Danny Ainge on the line. He's shooting 2 foul shots. Now, see, that's smart basketball. He was wide open with all of the problems that happened. You must make the 3 because the clock was going.
Phoenix leads it by 1. Danny Ainge goes to the line. His first time to shoot a free throw tonight. Ainge is an 80% free throw shooter in this series.
Now, Ainge did a good job there. You can see they forced it. It was a 2, but here comes the 3. Just open, wide open there for Dale Ellis. The #1 free throw shooter makes in the history of the game.
Ainge makes it 2. A successful free throw here would give Phoenix a 3-point lead. Remember, the Spurs do have 1 full timeout remaining, and that's all. It's 100-98. It's a 2-point lead.
Got to call timeout.
Timeout with 11 seconds remaining.
And a loose ball foul. And a loose ball foul.
And they walk the other way. What a call.
Right. If anything could
It's
go
on
your way,
Charles Barkley.
That's like a miracle. Danny Ainge, one of the premier foul shooters in the league, misses, and then you get a loose ball foul.
But now, think about how small that rim looks to David Robinson, who has struggled at the free throw line tonight. He is 4 of 8 in this quarter.
Okay, the big thing is he's got to knock him down. That's the bottom line. Nice, way to hit the big one.
This one will tie it.
All right, now as Danny misses this one, you're going to see how it goes. Barkley comes right in there. It was called right there, loose ball foul.
Oh, this is big.
Now remember, if he misses, you foul immediately if you do not get this possession.
Big free throws from David Robinson. It's tied at 100. Timeout, Phoenix. San Antonio Spurs fighting for their life in the playoff have tied it. They were down by 4 points with only 30 seconds remaining.
was looking for penetration by Elliott. Danny Ainge knocks the ball away. Elliott wants to save time. He misses. Robinson catches, throws diagonally. Ellis is wide open. He knocks in the three. Kevin Johnson running all the way from the other side. Now the foul shot. Now why is this big? This is big because A, it stops the clock. Okay, B, it also saves a timeout. Okay, because San Antonio did not have to call a timeout to move the ball. They go down the other end. The clock stops. 11 seconds on there. A lot of pressure on David Robinson. Give him his due. He makes the vote. Now you got 10 seconds, 11 seconds to go. Phoenix has one timeout and a 20. Now it's going to be interesting to see if they play the guy out of bounds. It's Frankie Johnson. Now remember the old story. The most dangerous guy in this gym right now is the guy out of bounds. Kevin Johnson and Barkley will be in this action some way on the initial move.
Cummings sits down. Avery Johnson comes in to play Frank Johnson.
All right, here's Barkley right here. They're opening up the floor and they're saying, Charles, take the Admiral one-on-one.
The pull-up jumper by Barkley falls with 1.6 seconds remaining, and San Antonio uses their final timeout, down by 2. What else can Charles Barkley do? The dream team matchup, Barkley and David Robinson. Robinson steps back a fraction of a second. Charles pulls up and got nothing but net.
How's running for mayor? I mean, is that in the plan here or what? Just watch how he rocks him back. See, as he rocks him back, Robinson could not gather to elevate to get up on that shot clock. Now, that took a lot of courage for Charles because he'd be second-guessed to death if he misses that jumper right now. Because everyone would say, Charles, why didn't you take him off the dribble to the hole?
Charles will face the questions every time.
Charles would say right now, hey, will you stop it? I got 28 points. I got 20-some-odd rebounds. All I have is stats in my hand. 28 points, 21 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals, and 2 blocks.
When we arrived in Phoenix on Monday, the newspaper said, in Phoenix, what's wrong with Barkley? You said, hey, what's wrong with Barkley? Just wait. Well, hey.
You're relying on the man, his competitiveness, and the fact that all he had to do was get some catches in key areas. And that's all they did. They got him the ball where he could really get it done. Now, right now, this is not over. You have 1.6, so you know you can make a catch and 1 bounce. That's all you can do. All right? The big thing right now is Phoenix must switch every place and deny the inbounds pass and put pressure on this guy on the shot. Now here you have Charles. He's looking right at him now. He caught him going back.
Does that remind you a little bit of Michael Jordan hitting the buzzer beater to oust Cleveland, the MVP candidates?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now another thing right here is I don't think you have enough time to throw it in for a guy to catch it and throw it back out to the guy out of bounds. But we have seen slow fingers on the clock in many instances,
and this
in many arenas.
In San Antonio.
That's right.
And San Antonio does have the ball. It's Willie Anderson, Dale Ellis, Lloyd Daniels, who's also his first appearance in the game, but he's a 3-point shooter to go with Sean Elliott and David Robinson.
Now the key is that you got to get the ball in bounds. Now right now Phoenix is looking at it, okay, and they are calling their 20. So they looked at the alignment. Okay, so now both teams have 1 timeout left.
Only Phoenix.
No, Phoenix has 1 timeout left. I'm sorry. Okay.
San Antonio is out of timeouts.
All right, so right now, Paul Westphal, you knew they were going to do that. That's the thing which everyone does now in the NBA. They take a look at it. They either go for a delay a game by stepping across the baseline, or he had a 20-second here right now, so he uses that. This gives him a chance to talk to his team. Now, the big key right now is, are they going to put a man on the passer who's making the inbounds pass? This is most guys in this situation. You do not want the passer to get a clean look at a guy coming off of the screen or someone failing to switch. Now let's see how they play it. Kevin Johnson is laying back. They are giving it. Kevin is going to. They're just going to switch out. There's Kevin. They just double-teamed Ellis, but they gave him the look. You got to shoot it.
Robinson has it blocked by Miller, and the Phoenix Suns advance to the Western Conference Finals, beating San Antonio. And what a scene. Charles Barkley walked directly to John Lucas and gave him a big hug as that game ended. Phoenix gets the win, 102-100. Think of this Phoenix team. They lose the first 2 games of the playoffs after winning more games than anybody in the NBA in the regular season to Los Angeles, come back from 0-2 to defeat Los Angeles, move into this series. Everybody holds court at home. San Antonio played very well here. Phoenix came in and gets it in 6. And Charles Barkley was the man. 28 points, 21 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. And Charles Barkley will be our Budweiser player of the game. And what an interesting situation it was, Charles Barkley, as at the end of the ball game, we were talking about most valuable player candidates, Charles, like yourself and Michael Jordan, and Jordan hitting the buzzer beater, and here you take the shot. Charles, first of all, your thoughts on that one-on-one matchup with David Robinson, game tied here at San Antonio.
Well, the main thing I want to do was make sure we got the last shot. You know, that's kind of shot, the worst thing can happen. You can go in overtime. I got the shot I wanted. I want to drive it at him and shoot basically a free throw, and it went in. And Oliver made a great block down the stretch.
All right, now look, Charles, we got a short amount of time. The big thing, you're looking ahead now, West Coast Finals.
Who's there?
Well, they didn't play the game yet.
Okay.
So they're about to tip it off right now. You can watch it, by the way.
Now, we're not talking about who you want to play. The big thing is you won, and you possibly got some days the rest of it goes 7.
Hopefully, Houston will win tonight, and we'll get to rest until next Tuesday. And that'll be nice, because we need a little rest.
Well, Charles, you were big.
Charles, we'll graphically display this here. Charles, 28 points, 21 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 2 block shots.
A Western Conference Final, baby.
Absolutely add the Western Conference Championship for the Phoenix Suns. Coming up next, their opponent, either Houston or Seattle. We'll be watching it as it continues here on TNT.